We're looking for these guys after a couple of months of going through no pads and then kind of getting a little bit of a feel yesterday with the pads on. It's always as a coach looking at these guys and to try and evaluate. Now, this is really where the evaluation process goes is from today, with the full pads until, we play our preseason game. So we're all excited as a coaching staff, and we're looking forward to it.
Hey, Greg, Chuck said something yesterday about, at least there's been some conversation about maybe Vontae following number one guys this year. You guys haven't done that in the past. What maybe led to that, and how serious are you about it?
Well, I think some guys match up better with other guys. It's just the way it is. And I think from a matchup standpoint with Vontae and even Greg, some guys do certain things a little bit better. So, we're in the process of moving Toller and Greg around and matching them up on players. So it's a good thing if you can have corners that can do that. Sometimes a lot of corners in the National Football League only like to play to the left or to the right. But it's good to get both of those guys in situations where we can put them on the left and the right, and they feel fine with it. So that's what we're doing, and we're mixing it up.
He seems like a guy who probably would embrace that challenge, right?
Yeah, he is. He's doing a good job of it. We've kind of done it a little bit in the first couple of days, and you got to get used to it though, too, as well.
The techniques are different.
Yeah, well, it's just regards to where the ball is all the time. If you've always been on the right, it's a little bit inside of you, with your vision and stuff. So, but he's been working on it.
Is that something that, if you are moving a guy around, certain guys it makes them better for being challenged every week that way? I know Revis has talked about that in the past.
Yeah.
About how it's just it energizes him knowing
That he's on the best, but I'm just saying it's not so much the best. It's just what can our guy do and match up on certain guys that they present. If they have two great wide receivers, it's the same thing. You still maybe want to take maybe one guy's quicker or one might be faster, and you kind of match them up the best ability-wise as a coach. So that's from that match system is pretty good for us.
When you look at Chuck made a mention about Clayton Gathers that he would like to use him some in the dime as a dime backer. What is it that you've enjoyed and embraced that allows him that you guys can potentially use him in that kind of way?
Yeah, we've been using him in a dime situation. He's a long kid. He's a decent cover guy for right now. Looking at him, he's got that speed. He's got some good hip flexion, and he's a smart kid. Sometimes when you get into young guys, especially playing a different position or playing down in the box, it's kind of hard for them because there's a lot of different reads. But for this guy, it's pretty easy, and he's been taking the challenge well, and he looks good so far. So I'm excited to see what he does tonight with the pads on.
Greg, as a defensive coordinator, say you were on the opposite team and you were facing Coby Fleener, tight end, with that kind of speed.
Yeah. Call timeout.
How much of a challenge is
that? It's a challenge, It's anytime, It's even during the draft. I mean, when guys pick up first-round tight ends, second-round tight ends that have skill, it's just another option, and it's hard to match guys, with Gronk playing all the years that he's been playing, do you put a linebacker on him? Do you put a safety on him? You put a corner on him. So it's the same thing going into every season. You got a guy like Coby, what are they going to do? From our standpoint, during training camp, it's a little different for us. We're playing our stuff, and we got to get good at our stuff. And sometimes the matchups might not be the greatest, but we still got to go through the process. And Coby's actually having a good camp so far.
Greg, to follow up on that, you talked about Gronkowski. Does a guy like Gathers give you options on tight ends potentially?
Oh, definitely. That's why we have him in that position. A guy that's a little bit bigger, a little bit longer, good hip flexion, like I said. You can plant and drive. But sometimes in the run reads and stuff, they get a little bit messed up. So we're giving him as many snaps as we can in practice to see how he's going to develop and how it's going to come out.
How's Henry Anderson coming along? How critical is he to your D-line depth?
I think big time. I think Henry's doing a good job. It's always hard, I think, in the National Football League because it's so technical when you get down into the closer to the ball. With those guys, it's making adjustments and moving left and right and adjusting, and then all of a sudden there's a 350-pound guy on you. But for right now, with no pads, he's been doing a great job.
Any sense yet when Nate Irving will be back out there?
Taking it slow. You know, I think we're always done that here with the Colts, is just try to, you know, trickle him into certain situations. He's not on the PUP list. You know, he's out there. He's going through the walkthroughs. And sometimes to just get his mind back into the thing. If you're sitting in the back, you're not really making the adjustments. So it's good for him to be actually in a little bit of action, per se, in a walkthrough. And he's actually been doing an okay job. Today I'm really mad at him, so I didn't like him today. No. He screwed up one time. I was yelling at him. But no, for overall, though, it's good for him to get back into that little bit of competitiveness and try to figure out the formations and seeing it from that linebacker depth.
As a defense coordinator who's seen him every day for the last 3 years and every day in this camp, what progression have you seen from Andrew Luck?
He's good. But the best thing is just from, you know, I'm not giving anything away. It's just maturity, leadership, you know, feels a lot more comfortable in the offense that he's been in for going into his third year. The weapons around him are a little bit better, I think, overall. And he's, you know, he's just Andrew. You know, it's good to be around a quarterback that you can have discussions with and talk about, you know, why were you doing this or why were you doing that after practice. And, you know, he wants to hear all that knowledge. He wants to hear what I'm thinking as a coordinator and why I would do certain things. Not only what Pep's thinking, but what I'm thinking as well.
Greg, we've seen
last question.
the offense doing push-ups. We've seen the offense running sprints. Haven't noticed the defense doing much of that. You guys winning camp?
Defensive line did it yesterday from gassers and stuff. We got to get. Oh, you were saying, yeah.
You guys
That was an opportunity.
Yeah, you guys went. I threw
Yeah,
it
we
up. I
did,
loved
we
it.
did.
Are you winning camp?
Yeah.
Say damn right.
Damn right. You know, but hey, it's good to have you guys here. Okay.